This episode of Nintendo Power Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support Nintendo Power Block and the Boss Rush Network, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network and see which tier is right for you. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Power Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, the Night Excited Eddie B. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Deary. Hello, good sir.
Ed, I'm worried about you. This is like the third week in a row you've messed up your own name, and I'm worried that you're slipping a little bit. Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Are you?
Well, it's because I am a gamer head, and you know, when I get into that space, I feel like I gotta become like a Roger, like Roger that. Because our special guest from the Gamer Heads podcast is Roger Ricard. Hello, good sir.
Hello. I would not want to be a Roger. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You don't want to be me. But no, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Roger.
Hello.
Hi.
We missed you.
I missed you guys too. I was just saying that on Twitter, how much I miss PAX. I miss Boston. I miss you guys. That was a lot of fun.
It's been like almost 3 weeks from PAX, and we still been talking about it almost on every show because how much fun it was.
It's been a severe bout of depression for me because you guys are my only friends.
Oh, wow.
Wow. No, but it's okay. I'm just alone in this dark basement.
Hey, can I say something real quick before we start?
Yes.
I didn't know this. Corey, we share the same birthday, not year, because I'm much older than you, but we share the same
Not true.
I bet you I have 10 years on you. I bet you have 10
I'm
years
older than you think, Roger. How old do you think I am?
37.
Oh, damn, he's right.
Yeah, I have 10 years on you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But same birthday. That's pretty
True.
awesome, right?
Yeah. Don't tell everybody.
Wait, are you?
Because I don't.
What? You don't want everyone knowing about a birthday?
I don't tell people my birthday. There are very few.
It's right on your Twitter account.
I don't mean it to be. To be fair, nobody goes to my Twitter and I wonder when his birthday is. No, they just look at the tweets and then they like pass it by without doing anything.
Well, the reason I did because you said all I want for my birthday is to hang out with some of my friends, and so I was thinking, oh man, his birthday is like in 3 days, and then I looked and said, does he have it on his Twitter? And you do. And then I was like, oh, we have the same birthday. How did I not know that? And you're like, because you never asked. I'm like, well, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
It's true.
And once again, I'm everybody's Power Block Papa, so I'll leave it at that.
If it makes you all feel better, I have been friends with Ed for 10 years, and I always forget his birthday's in April until like somebody says it. And I'm like, oh yeah. Happy birthday.
And Roger, this is what made it bad, is that I announced my birthday before we recorded Nintendo Power Block for last week. And I mentioned, I'm like, before the day you guys see this, it'll be the day before my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wished you a happy birthday.
I know you did. Corey did too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yes. After Lamont made a post.
No, that's not true. I posted it from the Boss Rush Twitter account. I said, everybody wish Edward a happy birthday.
That's true.
Okay.
That is true.
So, and I also texted you.
You did.
Aww.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
I did not see Lamont's reminder, so that was of my own volition. After Power Block's recording, that reminded me that your birthday was in 3 days.
I think Lamont's birthday is this week. So happy birthday, Lamont Reed, one of our writers, just an awesome guy. Our head Ninja Turtle, I should say.
Yes, I'm wearing my Turtles hat just for you.
Oh,
today,
very cool.
Yes.
Not really. I wear it because I love the Ninja Turtles too, and I just happen to get it. But
Yes. So
it's for me,
big.
Lamont, not you. It's for me. It's my
Yeah.
hat.
So
But we share a love with TMNT. That's
yes.
all that matters.
So big happy
Last
birthday to
Ronin
him.
live action movie coming, by the way.
I know, that's cool.
I thought that got announced already.
No, that was the game that got announced from
I know.
Game Mill.
I know
Gross.
the game got announced, but I thought there was another thing that they were planning for it.
The show, the TV show, the based on the movie, and then another movie.
Oh, maybe that's
Yeah.
it then.
And aren't they doing another? It was an arcade game, and they're bringing that as well to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Christmas
Yep.
Day.
that's the one that got announced first was the video game.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 games coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's the one based on the movie, and then the, classic arcade game from 2012.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
my
It
gosh!
wasn't that long ago.
I was
know,
just
I was
like,
like, oh
there
my gosh,
was?
I cannot say this. I was like, you can't say classic arcade game.
Especially when it's
You're gonna
not a
make all of us
classic
feel
nor an
old.
arcade game.
Oh, rip. Anyways, see, this is why I'm excited for the end of my life.
Oh my god.
Hey, no. Don't say that.
No, that's fine. I'm making jokes about it because Roger's here, but really, I'm gonna go cry after this.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Just kidding. I'm not really gonna do that. As far as the audience knows.
Oh, good googly moogly.
Roger, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
We should
Well-
people should probably find out who Roger is.
That's what I was about to ask. So, Roger, could you introduce yourself and tell us about the Gamerheads podcast?
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Roger. I am the host of the Gamerheads podcast. Or I should say one of the hosts. I don't think we have I'm kind of just the main person that starts it, but we have 2 other hosts as well. I've been doing Gamerheads since 2016, so quite a while. And yeah, it's a place where you can hear our podcasts and reviews and interviews and yeah, all those good things. So did I cover everything? Gamerheadspodcast.com. You can go there, to check out more. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always worried when I go guest places if I cover everything, but I also don't want to take up 20 minutes explaining what everything is.
I think people that have a podcast, right? When they go on other people's podcasts, they're like, I don't want to take over this podcast, right? So you always hold back reserve. But
I-
guilty. That's what I was concerned. I don't want to take over your podcast. So
I'm guilty that I would not take over, but I know when I throw a question in, we're going to be focusing on that question. We're going to have the debate and everything, and it's just going to create more dialogue. So it's going to feel like, did Eddie just take over our show? Sometimes I would throw your whole planned show out the window for one question, and all the true feelings and conversations come out. And then we'll wrap up and be like, we'll see you next time on this podcast.
Yeah. I'm
note to self, don't have that on my podcast. Got it. Good. Yeah. Just kidding.
I've actually written down a plug for when I guest on other podcasts now, because I'm going to be on a few podcasts within the next couple weeks. And I'm like, man, these are some real podcasts. These aren't just some little dinky things that me and Ed do every once in a while. This is a real
Hey,
thing.
we're a real podcast.
Yeah, you guys are a real podcast.
Sure. Yeah.
No, you are. I mean, you
According
sound
to
like
Spotify,
me.
we are.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, we haven't yet, but I do want you guys to come on my podcast too. I had Stephanie on last year, but I need you guys to come on the show.
Yeah.
As well,
Well, you invited the best of us, so let's be fair. It just goes downhill from here. But yeah, I'm like, man, these are some real podcasts that people actually listen to. Maybe I should just shorten this up and try to figure out how I can just contribute when I can, where I can. Oh man. So just try not to embarrass myself. So good times though.
I think that'd be hard, Corey. I don't think you embarrass yourself. So
I know, because I'm already and I'm just
No.
there's nothing left to embarrass.
That is not
Wow.
what I meant at all, but
Look, I'm 37 years old. I've lived my life. I'm where I'm at. All right.
Wow.
There's nothing left.
Wow.
can I say something real quick? When you messaged me, this was really funny. You messaged me and said, "Hey, you want to come on the podcast this weekend?" And I said, "Sure. Thanks for thinking of me." And you said you thanked me. And I said, "Shouldn't I have? I don't know. Should I not have?" And you're like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Is there a trick? Is this April Fool's?" And you're like, "Maybe, sure." And then I was like, "Should I be nervous about this then?" But anyway,
Then I said you were
thank you.
uninvited.
Yeah, then you're like, "You're
Wow.
uninvited." And I was like, "What? Damn it."
Ah, good times.
Yeah.
Oh man, Roger, you should come back every week. It makes look. No offense, Ed. I love our two man show, but like when you add a third person to the show, it adds like a really
Yeah.
great dynamic. You know,
Is
we've
it
been
the
we've
box
been
off?
searching for like a regular third chair for a while, and like it just, the schedules are always changing, but it's fun. Not that I love you, Ed. You know that. I'm just saying. I'm really enjoying that Roger's here.
Wow. Again, I feel like, should I leave? Their parents are fighting again. Should I like step out of the room?
Yeah, just wait till we get to the news stories, and then you'll hear some real spicy takes. Okay. Yeah. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were catching up on Pow Block, and they said, they were talking to me specifically, and they said, "You have a really calming voice." I'm like, "Yeah, it really evens out Ed's excitement and energy level," and they were like, "Yeah, it's like the perfect match." I'm like, "Yeah."
Aw.
So I felt
See?
really good. It made me feel good, but also I know
Yeah.
this person very well, and I know that this person was just being very nice. So I can't wait for them to listen to this episode and get a text from them. I heard what you said. And it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be
You
fine.
should go into ASMR, Corey. That's what I'm
I'm
thinking.
like, should I be concerned? I'm like, did I do something wrong?
Yes, Ed. I'm turning Nintendo Pow Block into a 40-minute solo show. You're fired.
That's right.
See you later.
I've been
Listen to
fired
the
so many
cool
times.
Go back to
common
optional opinion.
sense.
What you say? Go back down.
Yeah.
I might have to. I'm like, I might have to.
I'm just kidding, Ed. You know how I feel about you.
Oh.
You know you're the only reason why any of us are here. So,
Well, I guess I'll get it 2 plugs.
I'm
Before...
trapped. Ed made me stay. I was gonna quit it all. I was gonna leave it all, and Ed's like, "No." I was like, "Fine, I'll stay."
They sigh.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Well, I guess we'll get
Ed, you want to hear something? You want to hear something really tragic? By the way, before we get into the show,
It's like wanted to start the show, of course. Like, wait a minute, hold on. You want to hear something else?
Yes, Corey, go ahead.
I'm older than you are. Older? No, you know that I'm older now than you were when we started this.
Wait. Huh? Oh.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, dang, we've been doing this a long time.
Hold on. Was I 30 when we did this?
I mean, it was like 8 years ago, 2016. 8? That's 8 years. That's math, right? 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 36.
Yeah, I'm 37.
Yeah, I guess that math that does add up. I guess that
mathed out.
Wow.
Mathed out correctly.
Yeah, 36 to 44. That is wow.
Yeah, I know. I was 20. I wasn't even 30 yet.
Wow.
Those episodes are bad. Don't go listen to those, please.
Do go listen to those episodes.
Whatever. I don't know. We talked about Breath of the Wild for like 6 months, so I don't know.
There's some interesting episodes.
Yeah, interesting.
And discussions that we had. We did. We had some good conversations. I would say we had enough to be like almost do like 3 episodes for the next 3 weeks after the show.
There were times when Ed and I would do like 2 episodes a week, and then we would skip like 2 weeks in a row, and then we would do like 3 episodes in a week. We were very bad at that. So
Yeah.
it's okay though.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get into this
Ed,
housekeeping.
I have something else to say. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Everybody, you can find us on Patreon, website, and our YouTube. If you want to support Nintendo Power Block and the Boss Rush Network, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can get our supplemental show Expansion Pass 2 weeks early and ad-free and other perks like early access to other podcasts, voting rights, and more at the tier that's right for you. Again, that's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network.
Just $1, everybody. Early access to 4 podcasts.
Wow, that is cheap.
It is. It is.
That is some good quality stuff for $1.
Well, quality. You said quality. Let's back that up a little bit.
Well,
here.
no, come on. You guys do quality work. I mean, listen. When we were in Boston. Sorry, am I derailing this podcast?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you know who we are? We've already derailed the show 4 times in 12 minutes. So
when I was in Boston, I was like, wow, you guys like have a whole team and you guys are all like super organized and you guys do good work. And I was very jealous. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty jealous that you guys had as many people that you had there at PAX. And yeah, I mean, you guys do good work. That's why when you said you want to, first of all, when you said you want to hang out with us, I was really flattered by that. And that was very nice. So I'm a very shy person
Roger,
I have to say that.
I've already told you if Gamerheads ever blows up somewhere and like dies, you can come, you can hang out here. This is a space for you, Roger. Just saying.
I appreciate that very much. That was very nice of you guys.
I'll make you hang out with Ed.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. We hung out at PAX together. So.
Yeah, I know. I roomed with Ed for 4 days, and that was enough to last me in the next 5 years.
Wait, we had fun.
I love how you said that, Ed. We had fun, right?
It was like a sleepover. It's like we had a sleepover, like we was kids.
Yep. But nobody told us lights out, and we stayed up till like 3 in the morning and then got up at 7.
Exactly. And then woke up like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, and then embarrassed ourselves in front of Ben Starr. It's fine. No, we didn't. He was a very nice man.
He was super cool. I know he was just like, why is the 7 people coming up to me? Hey, he worked in the Starbucks. So that's why I'm just like, wait a minute. Ben Starr.
Starbucks.
He casually just walked in. I'm just like, oh wow. I'm like, that looks like Ben Starr. It is Ben Starr.
He's a handsome man.
He is a handsome guy.
Yeah.
And then he's British also, or
some he sort has a sexy voice. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's goofy. I love that he just does not take himself serious. I love him being goofy. So.
Yeah. Well, we probably scared him off from ever coming on a show, but it's okay.
No. Nah.
No, I do need to reach out to him though. To be fair, he took every single one of our business cards.
He did, yes.
And then talked to us about some game that Pat and Stephanie were playing.
Oh.
So
yeah, because he was there for Warframe.
Yeah. DLC. I think he's the villain in the new Warframe expansion.
I was actually at that panel when he talked about that. So that was pretty cool.
Are you a Warframe person?
You know, it's funny that you say that. I was not really a lot. I wasn't. I tried it and I was like, I don't get this. I was not. And then after the panel, I'm like, I'm going to play this. And I'm still a little lost. I'm going to, and I've been playing. You can play it on a Switch, right? This is a Nintendo podcast. You can play that game on a Switch. Yes. I will say I'm a little lost on it, just because there's so much. It's like when you jump into Destiny 2 after like 5 expansions have come out, and you're like, what is going on here? That's kind of like how I was with Warframe. So
To be fair, I did that after half of a season. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
I forgot the whole story after I finished Destiny 2. I'm like, oh, okay, I
Well, you're
beat
just
this
not
game.
trying hard enough, Ed.
Well, I uninstalled the game so I can play some other stuff. Now I just got
Just
to
leave it
reinstall
installed.
it.
My Series S is basically my Destiny machine. It's my Destiny, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Fortnite machine. Only 2 of those games get played. I'll let you figure out which ones they are.
If you listen to the podcast, you should know what two they are.
Disney Dreamlight Valley, the Monsters Inc. update's going on right now.
Oh, wow. Well, everybody, it's time for Snackendo! And Roger,
Yes.
what have you been snacking on?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it is very nice in Wisconsin, and this weekend it was very nice. It was like 70 degrees, which is, really nice for us. So of course I had to go out and get what we normally do on weekends, and that's grill out some brats. So I went to our local brat meat market called Skis. Not that they sponsor this show or my show, but I'll just plug them here anyway. And they have so many wide varieties of different brats. They have like Caribbean jerk, which we got. They have like the Wisconsin finest, which is beer and cheese and bacon, I think, isn't that one? Then there was like a double bacon. There's like a point beer brat. Like there's so many different kinds of brats. So that's what I've been munching on. Is we grilled out this weekend, and it was very good.
Nice.
I saw your tweet about your wife getting mad at you that you didn't give her a beer.
Yeah. So we have a deck, and the window to our kitchen looks out on our deck. And I'm grilling, and she sees me drinking a beer, and she gives me this look. And it wasn't a look because I was drinking a beer; it was a look because I didn't get her one as well. And I was like, "Hey, have yourself, help yourself. They're not just for me; they're for you and me." So, yeah, that's what I love about her.
You and me. They're for you and me.
Yeah.
For us. Us is this.
And it was New Glarus Spotted Cow. Again, don't sponsor this show or sponsor my show, but I guess I'll say them here. Yeah. New Glarus Spotted Cow is very good. Also, I will say, when I was in Boston, I got uh I got into the cold snap, Sam Adams cold snap, which is very good. But I found out, at least at the bar I was eating at the last night, well, it was a restaurant slash bar. The bartender said to the person I was with, "Oh, you are a good taste in beer," and I was drinking a Sam Adams, and I was like, "Well, what about my beer? Come on, you're from Boston." He's like, "Nobody from Boston drinks Sam Adams." I was like, "Okay, cool." I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, he said we drink Guinness, not Sam Adams. So, okay.
It's funny because like I don't really drink a lot, like at all, really. And like we were out like I was like, you know what? This seems like one of those moments where people drink, and we were like kind of celebrating. And I was like, I don't know what to order, and Stephanie ordered me some drink, and I was like, oh well, okay, here we go. And I drank it, and it was delicious. And just gonna say, I felt better afterward.
Felt relaxed, I should say.
Yeah, sure. Relax is the word. Yes.
Hey, that's
Uh,
what I have. That's what happened with me when I drink. I have a dark beverage. I feel relaxed.
Me too.
So that was yeah, that was fun.
Okay. Well, Corey, what have you been snacking on?
Well, we had Chipotle yesterday, and that was really
Ooh.
good. The chicken al pastor is back, and I got
yeah, that's good.
yeah, and we had a gift card, so I got double meat. So,
Ooh.
trying to make the most of it. It was so good. It was really good. It was one of those burritos where they had to like put extra foil on it to keep it together.
Mhm.
It was really great. It was really good. And then the chips and the corn salsa. And then my wife got a bowl, and then she didn't finish the bowl. And then I'm fat, so I finished the bowl for her.
You're not fat, Corey. You are
And
not.
then and then I ate a lot of cookies last night because I'm
Oh
fat.
wow.
Oh my
Also,
gosh.
this weekend, my son and I smashed a whole bag of the big bag of pizza rolls. I'm sorry, pizza snacks, because they're from Aldi. They're not called pizza rolls. They're called
Oh,
pizza
we call them
snacks.
pizza rolls. They're pizza
No, they're
rolls.
pizza snacks.
In general. Pizza snacks. That's like combos or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's
there's
pizza
like
snacks.
there's maybe like 20 left in the bag, and we smashed the whole bag this weekend.
Wow.
To the point where this morning I was like, I gotta figure it out. So I took a little walk, and I mowed the lawn, and I ate sort of healthy today. I had my eggs this morning and a banana, and then I ate a salad for lunch, and then my wife made these little steak quesadillas tonight for dinner.
Sounds
Mm-hmm.
yummy.
They were really good. Yeah, they were really good. And she got like the fun seasoning, like it's like this one shaker with like 4 separate seasonings in it, and it's called the taco bar shaker. And like, she just kind of, it was really good. It's really good.
Nice.
So that's what I've been snacking on.
What do your kids eat when you go to Chipotle? Because my kids are very picky, and usually it's just chips. That's all they'll eat.
My kids did not eat Chipotle because they refuse to eat anything other than like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even remember what they ate last night, because by the time I went to Chipotle, got our food, and came back, my wife had already cooked them dinner, and they had already eaten dinner, and they were already on second dinner. So,
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, they're hobbits.
Wow.
My son ate pizza rolls last night. That's what he ate. And then my daughter ate. Sometimes we make homemade pizza on naan, so she had some naan pizzas.
Nice.
Yeah, it was very good. I assume it was really good, but my Chipotle was delicious. So, my kids are very picky also.
I think every kid is. I think that's like typical thing.
Yeah, my son also, his new thing now, before he goes to bed, he's like, I'm hungry, because he doesn't want to go to bed, but also he thinks that's his way of getting like snacks or something, and then he'll like go into the kitchen and bring back a bag of Teddy Grahams to his bed and just prop himself up and eat them while like we're reading to him or whatever.
And you just stay there and look at him?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if he eats before bed. My wife does, but I don't. Whatever. He'll figure it out someday.
Sugar.
My wife is a much more responsible parent than I am. I'm gonna be honest with you. I go to work every day to escape being a parent.
Wow. Wow.
I will say, for me, like I'm a pushover. Like I think my kids know that. Like they know that they can push me over, because they'll say things like, "Oh, I'm hungry," and then I feel like, "Oh, I don't want to send my kids to bed hungry." Like that. What a bad dad I would be. So then, yeah, I let them snack.
You're a terrible father.
I know.
And once again, everybody, I don't have to worry about none of this. So,
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to. It was mean.
Do it.
Nope. I was going to say because nobody loves you, but that's not true.
Aww.
I love you.
I'm fine with that.
Are you sure? You don't sound fine.
Sound like a ghost.
Sound like a dog that got hit by a car and is crawling back into the driveway. Oh man. Good times. There's a lot of dogs in my neighborhood, by the way. Also, side tangent. Speaking of, so this is still part of Snacktendo. I'm wrapping it back in. So my daughter made a friend across the street from us. Like we moved recently, and our neighbors have a kid that's about she's like a year older in school. I don't know how much older really, but they did a lemonade stand together today, and then all the neighbors started coming over to socialize, and I snuck in the house because my son didn't want to be there, and I'm like, I'm gonna take him home because I don't want to be here either, because I'm an incredibly large introvert and don't want to be around people if I don't have to be.
Wow.
Which is sad because my wife is also a huge introvert, but she tries harder than I do. Like I said, she's a good parent. And I'm just the one that hides. So,
I get that. Can I tell a quick story about lemonade stand? Can I tell?
yeah.
Sorry, Ed. I
Go ahead.
know that this is someone taking away
Go
from you.
ahead.
But last year, my kids did a lemonade stand to raise money for, I think, for like the Portage County Humane Society, and and they're outside with my wife, and I was just about to go outside, and a police officer pulls up and he turns on his lights, and actually not quickly, I slowly walked back into the house because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. He just stopped to buy a bunch of stuff, which was very sweet. But I was just like, oh boy, I'm walking backwards.
Wow.
Nice.
We don't
Nice.
do lemonade stands. It's Kool-Aid or nothing.
Oh, Kool-Aid, yeah.
So it's a 40 in a brown bag in the corner.
I'm going to throw you somewhere when I see you next time. We're going to get some talks in the
That'll be
comments.
5 or 6 years from now, but I don't have anything else to bring you because you didn't leave anything.
Oh, wow.
Roger, did I tell you that story?
No.
Oh, well, Ed came to visit me like probably, well, it was like right when the Switch came out that fall.
Yeah.
So what, 2017, I guess.
Yeah,
And
we was going
Ed came over and he had
I was saying that we was getting we was planning to go to that Toys R Us to get the Super Nintendo Mini.
Oh, okay.
Which we did. And we also stopped at GameStop to get a couple of Switch games. But also, like, Ed came over and we did a bunch of stuff. And when he left his Switch grip thing, like the Joy-Con grip, at my house.
Okay. Yeah.
And so now that I finally saw him again after all these years, I gave it back to him.
Yeah.
Just
and I gave him.
Just that
Yeah.
this past,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
There were several times I thought about
Yeah.
There were several times I thought about just mailing it to him, and I'm like, nah, that costs money. I'll see him again eventually, maybe.
And he's like, I already bought new ones at this point, so.
Yeah. And then I gave him my Zelda Pro controller.
Wow. Well, you did or did not?
Yeah.
I
did. I gave him my Zelda Pro controller from Tears of the Kingdom.
Wow.
So I don't know why he did that, because now I feel obligated to do something nice for him. And that makes me feel upset. Just kidding. It doesn't make me feel anything. I love you, Ed.
Much.
What are you snacking on, buddy?
Yeah, I feel that like 10 minutes later. What are you snacking on there?
Well, my job, they brought me a chocolate cake for my birthday.
Ooh.
And my mom got me some chocolate cupcakes for my birthday. That was really good. Had some pepper and steak. Kind of like stir fry. It was really good. Just so amazing. She used a different kind of sauce because the sauce that she used was a little bit sweeter, and I'm like, ooh, I need this to continue and everything. That mug was so good. Friday I had a Super Supreme pizza from Pizza Hut. Saturday I had Moves Over Miami from Denny's. And then today, the day that we're recording, I have for the first time Jersey Mike's.
Oh, we're getting a Jersey Mike's in our town here real soon. So like in 3 weeks. So
yeah.
How was it? Was it good? Was it good?
It was really good. I got like their clubhouse. So it's like turkey ham, provolone, apple smoked bacon, which was really good. I normally don't get bacon on my sub sandwiches and stuff. Sorry about that, but it was really, really good. I was just like, ooh, they made it just so right where I don't even notice the bacon. It was crispy enough that I could just bite into it and just taste the flavor and everything. You didn't even realize that it was bacon on it. I got some soft chocolate chip cookies, was really good. And then I got a brownie from them that's soft too, but I haven't ate it yet. Because I kind of just wanted to taste their desserts, get an idea since it was like kind of my first time there. And then I got like a Mountain Dew. I did go to Arby's and I got a strawberry lemonade, a large. Really, really good. I'm like, oh, this is just what I needed for my vocals, because my throat was a little bit parched. It was a little bit dry. So I had to drink I drank some of that. Um been eating some Ben and Jerry ice cream. Um I had some well, actually in Haagen-Dazs, I had like a chocolate Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and then yesterday I had a vanilla fudge caramel swirl ice cream from Ben and Jerry's. Because normally when it gets like a little bit warm, a little bit hot, I end up having a taste for ice cream. And I'm waiting for, there's a place called Cheryl's in our area, a little bit ways down. But they do like dip ice cream and
Mm.
everything. So I know to get the cherry chocolate ice cream. So it's chocolate ice cream dipped in cherry, a cherry coating, and I normally get that. So I'm just waiting for them to open back up so I could get one of the cones and stuff. Um so pretty much that's what I've been snacking on. I know we're getting like new flavors and drinks and stuff into our store for our reset for my job. So I'm just waiting to see what else we're gonna get. So everything could go out uh and everything. But yeah, that's all pretty much what I've been like snacking on. It's some Arizonas I'm still drinking. One store had the citrus Arizona for like 49 cents. So I like, let me get 3 of these and everything. And then I get back to my job and we're still like $1.29. I'm like, dang it. So
I just heard like a lot of businesses there, like Arby's, Haagen-Dazs, Jersey Mike's, all these places. If you want to sponsor this podcast, you're more than welcome to.
Look, man, you don't even have to pay us. You just give us free Arby's for life. Okay, I will take. Look, man,
can I get the
I
mozzarella
mean,
sticks from Arby's?
so that's what I'm saying. Also, but you have to bring back the potato pancakes, okay? Because you took them away, and I'm very sad. But also, I discovered the mozzarella sticks, so I guess it's okay. But nothing like the potato pancakes with some horsey sauce on it.
Yeah.
Little, oh my gosh, dude, I love putting so much horsey sauce on the sandwiches that like it burns your nose,
Mm-hmm.
and then you feel like crying, and then you take another bite, and it just does it again. Oh, it's so good.
I skip all of that.
It's fine.
So,
I don't care.
well, everybody, it is time for playing with power. Corey, where have you been playing with power?
Okay, so I've been playing Final Fantasy VII still. I met Yuffie for the first time, so that's where I'm at.
Is this the first time you're playing this? I just want to know.
It is the first time I am playing
Okay.
the OG Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Well, seriously, I should say. I've tried a
Okay.
few times, and I just, sometimes you just can't get into a game. But I got hooked with the remake Rebirth hype, and I don't want to be the guy who doesn't play Final Fantasy VII first. So I'm struggling through it. It's fine, but the story is good. I like the characters, but playing a 30-year-old JRPG is really tough to do in this day and age when you have amazing
playing with
games.
some enhanced gameplays than the original version that came out.
What enhanced
should
gameplay?
say.
What, their faces look better? Okay.
No, the game is it's faster.
It is not.
You haven't sped it up yet?
No.
Oh, yeah, you can speed up
No,
the game
because
and
I
everything.
I take so long to make decisions that it actually hinders the battle experience. So
Mhm.
I have to keep it slow so I can make decisions. Oh man, I guess I could. There's also one where like you can't die. There's also a setting where you can't die either, but I haven't turned that on because I don't want to be that person either. I'm not that big of a loser that I need to do that. So I know my worth.
There's a line. There's a line.
They really are like forcing Aerith on you though in this game, and I'm like, no, Tifa's best girl. I don't care if Aerith dies.
She dies? I'm kidding.
I don't know. I haven't used her yet, so I don't know anything. That's not a spoiler. I'm just saying. I only use Tifa and Red 13 or Barrett.
Yeah.
Tifa, best girl.
Tifa's best
Can't
girl.
believe you don't. I can't believe you don't use Aerith for her healing ability.
No, I give everybody cure and just let everybody heal themselves. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, see that's how. So it's funny. Final Fantasy 7. It came out when I was in college, and I like skipped a lot of classes to play that game. A lot, too many classes. And then of course, then afterwards, I just wanted to beat all the what are those the elemental big boss monster type things. I can't remember what they're called. I don't remember what they're called. But anyway, yeah, I
The
skipped a lot
summon?
of they're like these big things. I skipped a lot of classes. I didn't have arrow. What was her name again? I don't even have her on my team. What was her name?
Aerith,
Aerith?
Aerith,
Aerith. Yeah, I
or
never got
Aerith.
Eris.
You
It's
finish.
Eris in
Aerith.
that game.
Yeah,
I
I never
changed
had
it
her.
though. Like when you get to pick their
Oh
names,
yeah.
I changed it. It was bothering me. So
I don't know
You didn't
why.
change it to somebody close to you, did you?
changed it
Somebody close to
to
you.
Rip everyone.
See, I
Goodbye.
beat it when it originally came out. When it first came out on
Nobody
PS1.
cares, Ed.
So that's why I
Okay.
say like this
Wait,
enhancement.
hold on. I tell my story, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Ed says it, and you're like, "Nobody cares. Nobody cares to hear that." And
So yeah, I just this is my first time playing it, and like the last time I tried to seriously play it was probably so I bought 7, 8, and 9 all at the same time when I got my PlayStation 2 because I was really excited for 10. I was like, 10 looks awesome. And I'd never played a
10,
Final Fantasy. I had never played a
10
Final
is
Fantasy
awesome.
before until then because I never had a Super Nintendo and I never had a PS1. So I was like, oh, Final Fantasy 10 looks awesome. Oh, what's this Final Fantasy 9, 8, and 7 are all on all PlayStation games? Cool. I'll have to get one of the memory cards these kids are talking about, coming from N64. Nobody really knew or cared. But yeah, so my first Final Fantasy was 9, and I love 9. 9's incredible. 10, also incredible. Then I went back to 8 after 10. I was like, I like 8. It's fun. The thing is though, is as you level up, the game gets harder, so it kind of encourages you to like not level up. And then the junction system is just like it's too much. And then after I finished 8, I went to 7. I'm like, I'm really these last 3 games are better, and also like on PlayStation, circle was the accept button. I couldn't wrap my head around that, and I don't know. I was like, I'm Final Fantasy'd out, so I went and played Kingdom Hearts instead, or whatever, something else at the time. I don't remember what it was.
You ever play 6 then? You never played 6?
I've never played anything before 7.
Yeah, you could play 6 too. 6 is very good.
That's what I hear. I'm waiting. I'm gonna play the fictional remaster. It's 6. Nobody calls it 3 anymore. Only losers call it 6.
Well, I said 3/6 because that's the era that I grew up in. It's known as 3/6.
Yeah, like I said, losers only call it 3. So it's.
I'm going to Dragon Punch you.
Final Fantasy 3 came out on the DS.
Yeah, that's when they remade it.
I know. I'm just kidding, Ed. I just like busting your balls, man. So I've been playing that, and then that massive update to Destiny happened, and it got everybody excited again, and I'm also very excited, and I'm playing Destiny again. I got sucked in. I'm very excited. Very excited. A lot of very cool things happening with that game right now, and I hope they finally have figured it out, because it feels like every time they have it figured out, they just hit a bump in the road, and then it takes them 2 or 3 years to figure it out again. And like, I don't know how it's lasted 10 years, to be honest with you, at that cadence. And some people would argue that it hasn't lasted 10 years. It's just the hardcore that keep it going. And I'm like, yeah, fair. But it was really cool because during the announcement, like the final shape reveal and the Into the Light stuff, we saw Luke Smith for the first time since Forsaken, which was awesome. Well, no, first time since I guess Beyond Light. I guess
How does he
um,
look? It's been a
he's
while.
thin, man. He lost a lot of weight.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. He's for those who don't know, he's the franchise director of Destiny.
Okay,
And
I didn't know.
he said that the
Yeah,
final
well,
shape they're going to reveal more after the final shape about what's coming in Destiny 2 and what's happening with Destiny as a franchise in general, which not that this is important to a Nintendo audience, but there is supposedly a rumor. I was actually talking to Lord Cognito of the Iron Lords about this the other day about Project Payback, which is the code name for Destiny 3, supposedly, and
Oh,
what that might mean, and how Prismatic, which is the new subclass that is a subclass that mixes the other subclasses together, might be um, a test bed for mixing and matching stuff in Destiny 3, which lore wise, it 1,000% makes makes sense after this. So, but I've been playing that, and I've been getting some spicy rolls on some weapons, and it's making me happy. They're bringing back old weapons that people love, and they brought back some of the exotic missions with new elements in them, and the exotic weapons from those missions are now craftable, so you can get different rolls on those weapons now. It's very exciting, very exciting, man. Let me tell you, Outbreak Perfected with the little dragonfly action on there. Ooh, ooh. I mean, their heads already explode, and then little particles fly out and seek out other enemies. But man, those little particles when they have little explosions on them now, woo, spicy. I don't even know if that's a perk you can get, but it'd be cool. So
it sounds like you're having fun.
I am. Man, this is the first time I've had fun with Destiny in like a long time, to be honest. And so the new mode that's in the game now called Onslaught, it's basically horde mode. It's
mhm.
literally a horde mode. Down to the like, here's the thing you have to protect, and you can spend scraps on protection things like trip mines and turrets and distractions, and so that's really fun. And there's a 10 wave one and there's a 50 wave one, and so yeah, it's we've been playing the 10 wave one just because we're not good at the game, so you know but yeah, it's been fun. Destiny's been real fun.
All right. Well, Roger, what have you been playing with Power?
So I have been playing that just came out this past week. Let's Revolution. I think
Ooh,
Hmm.
did you guys play that at PAX East as well?
I didn't. I know you was talking about it at
Yeah.
PAX,
I never played
but
it.
I didn't get a chance to play. It wasn't on my like plan schedule stuff, so I didn't get a chance to play it.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's so it is the first game that Buck Studios is involved with, and so Buck Studios is an animation studio, and they are probably most famous for the Spider-Man movies, like Into the Spider-Verse, I believe is the one they're doing
Ooh.
now.
Yeah.
Um, so the animation is really smooth in this game, and the premise is you are a rebel that is going to overthrow the king. There are 6 different characters that can be unlocked. You start with one, and then as you progress, you can unlock more. And uh, and it's Minesweeper but good. So the king hides in one of these level or one in this level. It's a puzzle, and with a bunch of tiles, and you have to find where the king is. But there's also enemies on the map, and if you run into one of the enemies, then you take damage, but you can use one of your abilities to try to find where the enemies are. And then also, like Minesweeper esque, they have numbers above the tile that you're on, and it shows you like how many roads are touching that tile. Um, and only enemies are going to be on roads. So it's really cool. It's a really cool game. And one thing that impressed me when I was at PAX, and they won one of our Gamerheads Best of PAX East awards. And when I talked to them about the game, I asked them, how long did it take you to develop this game? And they said 18 months because of
Ooh.
the fact that this animation studio can just turn things around really quickly. And I thought that was really quite amazing. They said usually something that they would expect to be done in like 3 to 4 months, they're turning around in like weeks, which is pretty
Wow.
awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's Let's Revolution that's been out on Steam for a while. I think a year actually, or so, and then it just came to the Switch this past week. So that's out there. And then the other game that just came to the Switch not too long ago is Biomorph. Have you guys seen anything about this game at all?
I
I have
think
not.
no, that's David has been talking about another game, or no, Pat's been talking about another game. But I remember hearing about Biomorph.
Yeah, it's a good game. So it's a Metroidvania type game, and you are this creature that can morph in. You defeat your enemies on the screen, and you can morph into them to take over their abilities, and then you can
Yeah,
use their abilities to, make it past certain areas and the levels that you wouldn't be able to make it past without those abilities. You can also like get these things called chips that will allow you to do other like passive abilities as well.
yeah,
And then you also have uh I think they're called mementos, and they also, or maybe the mementos are the passive ones and the chips are the active ones. But some of them also allow you to do certain things like different attacks and things like that. It's really good. The animation again is fantastic in this game. Um, and it's pretty difficult though. Like the boss battles are no joke. Like you really have to watch what the boss is doing. You can't just go in there just blazing with your punches or your guns, because you're not going to win. You have to like actually pay attention to what the bosses are doing, their patterns. But it's
Mhm.
really good. It's and the art is so good. The animation is so good. It looks like a Saturday morning cartoon. And I'm not going to spoil the game for anybody, but the ending is interesting. I kind of saw it coming, so it wasn't wasn't like it wasn't. I didn't see it coming, so I kind of saw it coming. But there's some choices that are being made at the end, and those choices impact the ending you get. So it's very good. It's called Biomorph. That's also on the Switch as well.
I
Nice.
think they just announced that it was released, and stuff. But I just haven't had a chance to see it on the eShop or anything.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't remember what the cost is on that game, but um,
People can find it.
I think it's like it's $20 or less. I'm pretty sure, but I don't quote me on that. So
Hmm. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Let's Revolution. I realize why I didn't play it, because it's a roguelike puzzler.
yeah. But don't let this don't let that scare you away. It's really
No, it
good.
does.
It's a
Absolutely. Those two words absolutely scare me away from games, especially when they're together.
Yeah,
The word roguelike, you can just anything that says the word rogue in it anywhere, you can just look, I'm done. Can't. Nope.
wow,
Pass.
yeah,
wow,
Pass. Nope.
wow. No, it's
Even even
it's
even
good.
even something like Shovel Knight, the one of them, I think it must have been Dig, I guess, was a roguelike, and I
Yeah.
was like, I can't do this. I love Shovel Knight so
Wow,
much, but I can't do this.
yeah.
man. So you don't like Rogue Legacy
Nope.
or Rogue Legacy 2?
Nope. Dead Cells was probably the one I put the most effort into, and I only played it for like 5 hours, and I was done. I don't even think I got to a boss.
Did you play the? You didn't play the Castlevania?
Nope.
No,
Oh man, it's so good.
I heard the Castlevania one was really good, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I refuse. I refuse to play roguelites. I
What
can't.
about what about what about? Do you play card games like deck
Nope.
builders?
Nope.
Wow,
Nope. I
Corey,
refuse to play
you
anything with
you
cards in
are
it
missing
too.
out on such really great
Let me
like.
tell you, the last card game I played was Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories was the last one I finished and played,
Okay,
and that was on the Game Boy Advance. So,
I'm gonna give you a game that you have to play on a Switch.
nope.
Okay,
Mm-mm. If you're gonna
you're
say Balatro or whatever that's called,
yes.
I'm gonna be like, nope, pass.
What?
Nope,
It's so good.
nope,
this is already. I think Balatro is
nope.
number one
There,
Game of the Year nomination for a lot of people.
It's so good.
There are so many games out there that people are like, you got to play it. Like, okay, so Inscription was something people told me I had to play.
Yeah. You
Midnight
didn't like
Suns
that
was
game?
something
Did you not like Inscription?
I didn't play it because I know I don't like those games. Marvel Midnight Suns was something people said I had to
Yes.
play. Hades was something people said I had to
Wait,
play.
wait, wait, Hades?
I've never.
You played
Hades is
Nope.
good.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. I don't care how good the
Anything
combat is. If I can't just progress, then I'm not going to play it.
But you can. But no, but that's the thing. You can progress.
Nope. No, you can't.
Like bad roguelikes. Did a roguelike do you bad? I just want to know. Did a roguelike do you bad? Because there are some
I
bad
don't
ones
like.
that don't allow progression.
No, I just don't like the idea of like starting over when I've played so much. And like even if they are like, here are some coins for you to. Anyways, after that technical difficulty, so roguelites, anything I have to start over in. If they give you currency, if they give you coins to continue, whatever, or buy upgrades or whatever, nope, pass. The one that almost got me, except there were multiple reasons why I didn't try it, was that Ninja Turtles one that's on Apple Arcade. And I'm like, well,
I haven't played that one.
I was like, first of all, it's Ninja Turtles, but also it's on a
Apple
phone.
Arcade.
It's a roguelite. I'm not doing it. You're talking to a person who has only played Fortnite like a handful of times and bought the Ninja Turtle skins because I downloaded Smite and almost bought the Ninja Turtle skins, and I don't even know what kind of game Smite is. They were just Ninja Turtle crossover. They almost got me, man. Almost.
Oh man, I feel like you had to play. I feel like you had to play Hades. I feel like you had to play Balatro for sure.
I hear these words you're saying.
Look, if you're not following those,
I'm gonna take it like this little piece of paper and just kind of like.
If you're not following it,
put it under here and just leave it there and not think about
not
it.
Following it, Roger, if you're not following it up by saying play it on Game Pass, they're not going to get played.
Nope, I won't even do that. I won't even waste the bandwidth of downloading the game.
You will play it on Game Pass. Give it a try, and then Corey.
What was the last roguelite I played on Game Pass?
I'm talking about any game that someone would recommend to you. Okay, if it comes on Game Pass, that's what I'm talking about.
Game Pass, it's free.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, if you would have said those games and followed it up, tried it on Game Pass, you would have gave it a try, got rid of it.
No, Hades was on Game Pass for a long time, and I never downloaded it. So, also, I think Balatro is on Game Pass or something, or it's.
I think it's just.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's just PC and Switch at this time.
No, because I know no, it's on Xbox. It's on Xbox. I don't know.
Okay, the Xbox. Yeah, because I've just been hearing a lot of people playing that game on Switch and PC. Yeah. I haven't heard anyone say anything about the Xbox.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, anyway. Phil, one of my coworkers, one of my co-hosts, coworker, I guess, plays it on Xbox. And he says that is the definitive version. Xbox for him is everything. The definitive version for everything. So
it's fair.
If I bought you a roguelike for your birthday. If I bought you Hades for your birthday, you wouldn't play it? I mean, to celebrate your birthday?
No, that sounds like the worst birthday present. That's like when when your wife wants to do something really nice for you, and she asks you what you want to do, and the answer you really want to say is sit in the basement and nobody bother me while I play video games all day is not the answer she's going to want to hear. So you kind of have to like fudge something, and then you have to spend the whole day doing something you don't want to do. It's kind of what a roguelike is.
Wow.
I'm hurting a lot of people's feelings right now, but that's okay. They'll get over it.
No. Here's the thing. Like, I get not liking roguelikes because really, like, not everybody is going to like every genre. I get it, and I'm really giving a hard time about that. But
I know. I like to play into the fact that I don't like certain things, and I just kind of like to hammer it home, even if it's not 1,000% true. It's only like 99.9% true.
Wow. So. But Latro is very good, though.
Yeah, I also like to give a bunch of crap to games like Hollow Knight and stuff because I'm like, everybody hated this game when it came out, and now everybody loves it. What are you talking about? Just throwing that out there. I hope everybody is so disappointed by Silk Song when it comes out that you all just throw your Switches away.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Or your
Team,
Xbox.
I hope Team Cherry succeeds. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to be happy, except for those who
But
play
you won't
Silk.
you won't play it. You won't
No,
play
I
it.
will
Though.
not play it.
Okay.
Dude, I played Hollow Knight for like 10 hours, and I'm like, I don't understand why people like this game.
Well, that's a long time. I will say that's a long time to put into a game that you don't like.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm a terrible gamer. Let's just put it that way.
You're not a terrible gamer. You have your preferences. Listen, there's games that I don't like. I can't name them right now, but there are games genres that I don't like.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it didn't come out before 1997, Ed hates it. So
Wait, well, Grand Theft Auto is it. That's. I'll let that be what it needs to be and keep it moving.
anyways, I'm done picking on things now. Taking up too much of the show, making fun of things.
And that is what I guess that's the end of what I've been playing. So,
Okay,
right.
Well, for me, Far Cry 3, I defeated Voss, so I got like about 40% more of the game to finish, with it. I repurchased Quantum Break. Somehow my Series X wasn't recognizing my Xbox One copy, even though I after I beat it, I put it in the case and kept it there, and I even cleaned it off, and just my Series X wasn't just recognizing it to load. So it was like only $10 digitally, so I just brought it there, because I kind of just want to go through it and stuff. Uh for Switch, I'm playing a Castle Troid called After Image. It's it's a Malay kind of Metroidvania, where it's mostly, it has dialogue, and you could go to a town and meet other people, but it kind of has like random pickups and everything. You can get stronger by finding like three pieces for to extend your life bar or extend your magic. But every time you level up, you get like this thing called telepoint, where you could add it to your character to have different kind of abilities for the weapons that you pick up. It's not, the weapon wise, it's not huge. There's like a sword, some dual blades, a whip, and like a great sword, like a big sword. So you don't really have that many choices. You do pick up armor, and you can make those stronger. It's a fun game. I think the weird part is it's like the frame rate still drops. It's kind of wonky. With it, I did buy it on Series X also, so I'm gonna try that version and see if that same issue persists. For it. Uh, it really does feel kind of directionless, like you just don't know where to go after you complete certain quests, and it doesn't pinpoint you where you need to be at and stuff. So um I know the main quest is you're trying to get to a certain point, but there's so many different areas that's connected, and it don't tell you what power you're going to get or be able to use, and stuff. So it's a weird. It's not a bad game. It's just kind of weird in its design.
huh.
Um,
What is that game called?
so
What is it?
After Image.
After Image. I don't know if I played that one.
Yeah, it came out a while back. I think like sometime last year. It just didn't get talked about because I told Corey that I was like in the mood for like a Metroidvania, like a adventure game, and uh I seen this game come up on my phone, and it was just people talking about it. I was just like, well, I see. Look at it, and then it was on sale. Xbox got it for like $12.89 for it. I just ended up purchasing that. There's another one that I'm waiting for. I think it's coming out here. There's an anime called Breaker of Lotus War. It had like a Castlevania style game, that came on Series X. It's also on Switch. The developers who made that game, they got another one coming, but I gotta find the name and see when it comes out. I thought it was coming out this month, but I'm not so sure and everything. So um that's pretty much it from what I've been playing. Haven't really got anything else. I did order Infinite Wealth from the Yakuza series, or like a Dragon series. It's like $40 on Best Buy. But it's coming in the mail. And stuff. I was gonna get Unicorn Overlord to order,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
all of that is sold out for every console. For physical version. And
Wow.
so the Switch version, you can't even try to get it sent to you. The only ones that they had were like PlayStation and Xbox, and they were like, just notify me if you guys get some more in stock and stuff. So I probably may try Amazon, even though I don't want to. I may try to see if Target has it too. If not, I might try Myers and Pleasant Prairie in Wisconsin, or Kenosha, because nobody buy games at Myers, and you can kind of find.
Is that true? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Like you could. I think I got Death Stranding for them for like $10
It was on
on
clearance or what?
yeah, it was on clearance. Like nobody was buying any of their games. So Death
Wow.
Stranding was like about $10
Wow.
for PS4. And this was just like a couple of months after the game came out, because nobody was buying it and stuff. And I think because that was a time where people were dissing Death Stranding because they didn't understand it. And once Death Stranding hit PC, um people started trying to like it and start getting mad. That was the thing with Sony games, that if they didn't like the game on PlayStation 4 and it didn't hit the sales, if those games came to PC and they got a lot of love, the certain people in the Sony community would be pissed off because that game is doing well and everything. Because that's what happened with the motorcycle zombie game. That came out. Can I think of it, from Ben Studio?
Days Gone.
Uh, Days Gone. Yeah, people did not like it on PS4. But when Days Gone came out on PC and it got higher ratings and better sales, that's when the Sony community started getting mad at it and everything. It's just like, why is the PC community loving this game and making it do well and stuff?
Huh.
I feel like
It's
this is a
because
flashback to expansion pass last week.
uh, that's a different topic. So I'm gonna let
Oh
I'm,
my gosh.
I'm gonna let that
Ed,
let that
Angry
be.
Ed makes me scared.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm playing. There are some Switch games that I'm getting ready to pick up. Um, since like I said, PAX is over with. Uh, and yeah, I still gotta go get. I was gonna order Princess Peach, but I just
Yeah.
uh took advantage of the Best Buy sales and stuff. And it's kind of hard trying to find, because I used to do a lot of pre-ordering at Best Buy, but it's just like a lot of their physical games. It's just you know, it feels like they're going to slowly stop carrying them in stores, and if you want that game, they're just going to mail it to you. Because you can pre-order their games and get it on the day of release. But I think it just depends on where you live at, and how long it's gonna take to ship, because there are some games that it came out on release date, and I would get them in between like 10 o'clock or like 9 o'clock that night. It's from UPS. So yeah. So I'll see what happens these coming days. But yeah, that's all that I'm playing with Power at this time.
Yeah, I looked at the after image game. That looks cool. It looks all hand drawn and
Yeah, it
artwork.
is.
That looks really good.
Yeah, it's all hand drawn
Wow. Yeah, it looks really it
animation.
looks gorgeous. So
Yeah, when it's running, like when you don't have no enemies, you don't have to attack and stuff, and the frame rate is not everywhere. It looks good, but once the frame rate gets like a little iffy and goofy, you'd be like, and I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's the Switch. I think it's that's why I say I gotta play the Series X, because if I'm still having the same problems or Series X, then it's the game itself, and
Yeah.
not the consoles or PC that
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.
Well, everybody, we're going to get into Family News. Corey, take it away.
Yeah, you get to read stuff. All right, Family News. Not a lot here, but some big stories here. So, right after we recorded last week, literally the day after we recorded and the day before it posted, probably should have done a follow-up, but who has the time? Former PlayStation employee and former Iron Galaxy employee Gio Corsi. If you don't know, he is a huge Vita advocate. He's managed, used to manage like third-party stuff for Sony. He's a big name in the PlayStation space. Has joined Nintendo of America to help manage AAA third-party portfolio, and hopefully bring new games to the platform, which is very exciting because he's the man that can do it. This is a great hire for Nintendo.
Yes.
This is a huge hire. Roger, I'm going to go your way first. How do you feel about this hire?
Well, this is the first I heard about this, so that's pretty cool that this is happening. Yeah, no, I mean, it's exciting for sure. I will say, like, I don't know if I go to my Switch though for third party AAA games.
Part of the problem here.
I am. But I mean, it's exciting that they want to tap into that. I'll just say that, right? So exciting for Nintendo fans. But I don't know. Okay, Roy.
Are you not a Nintendo fan, Roger?
I am a Nintendo fan. I know. Here's the thing. On my podcast, I'm always defending Nintendo. They make great decisions. I will say this though, like if they're going to be cloud versions of the games, I'm not going to be real happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're probably gearing up for their next console, right? I mean,
you're probably right.
That's probably what this is for.
That's probably what this is about. You're right.
And it depends on what third party. I should say. You should say.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What third party? All third party.
No, it's selected third party.
No,
there's a
party.
difference. There's a difference. Or I'll speak about it when it comes to my turn. Roger, continue.
I know I'm done. I'm excited.
Thank you, Roger. I'm glad someone's excited.
But I think you're right. I think it's probably, I don't want to play into those Switch 2 rumors, but it probably is hey, we have a new console that we're looking at eventually, and we need to think about what that relationship looks like with a third-party AAA, and that makes sense to bring somebody like him in.
Yes. All right, Ed, what's your hot take here?
Okay. So, I agree with Roger. I'm happy that this is happening. I think this is really cool. And if he's a good connection to get third party, I should say Western third party to Switch, because Japanese, and some of the UK third party are already supporting Nintendo. The Western third party though is the question, and that might be the connections because, of course, EA, right? So Activision, because that's now under Microsoft. That's a decision between Microsoft and Nintendo, and they have good business together. So
here we go.
I'm
I
just saying they have good business stuff going on together. So now
I
I
know, but
won't
you
include
think
Activision.
Activision doesn't support Nintendo when everything Activision has put out since the Switch has been a thing,
No,
aside from
I
Call of
I
Duty, has come out on the
I
Switch. Everything.
I
Literally
have
everything.
said Activision does
Ubisoft too.
support Nintendo. The Ubisoft and Activision do support Nintendo, but they support them late
I don't
when
know.
their
I mean,
games.
Ubisoft
Corey,
has some
Corey,
exclusives
with
on the Switch.
Tony Hawk, the remaster came out. Who got it first?
Oh my
All
gosh,
the
Jay,
other
we've had this.
systems.
Okay, you continue.
We
I'm not having this.
I'm just saying.
Porting down
Uh,
to a different architecture is hard.
I'm just saying. Now that it's under Microsoft, it's a different thing. But
My head hurts.
EA does little support for Nintendo, and if he's going to help if he can help usher in more EA products on Nintendo's next console, then yes. Anything else anything else is going to be maybe like second party kind of independent publisher kind of stuff. Because right now Nintendo's already working great with third party with Japan, Bandai Namco, Capcom, um goodness, there are some other ones, and I cannot Konami. Working with those. So those are good relationships that Nintendo has. But because he is he came from Sony of America, I'm assuming. Um,
When he came
if
from
he
Iron
could
Galaxy.
in our galaxy. If he could get more of EA connected to be on Nintendo's next platform and treat it with respect and equality. Don't be like, okay, yeah, we got EA, but they're gonna put this game out first, and then we'll somewhat do whatever we can for Nintendo. We'll throw out some indies. No, if there's gonna be uh some support, we want equal support, and we want treatment of that support to be equal. If the console can handle it, that part is going to be up to Nintendo. But I am excited about this, to see what could come, because maybe he could be talking to Microsoft, and maybe we could get some of the ZMX games, and everything. Like maybe he could work with Microsoft and get some of those games. Maybe even if it's just a digital version, he could probably help us play some of those games. So I think this is a good thing. My test is going to be, what are you going to speak to EA about? Because the thing about it is, if EA is going to treat Nintendo it's still not going to be fair to Nintendo, then once again, it's going to be all these other companies that he's going to be probably working with is going to be getting coin, and EA is going to get left out.
I mean, I don't think EA really has a problem making money.
I wouldn't say so.
I mean, have you heard of FIFA Ultimate Team? Have you heard of Madden Ultimate
Yeah,
Team?
yeah, but
Have you heard of Battlefield?
they make their money on DLC. They don't make their
That's not
money
enough.
on games.
All right,
And
moving
that's
on.
only one country.
Oh man. All right.
But I said
I'm
it's a good
excited.
thing.
I'm excited
I'm
for
excited to
Gears.
see.
I don't know. Angry Ed came out again, and just
I'm just saying
hurts
that I
my
would love
head.
to see what if he could work with EA. Other
I
than
think you're
that,
just too obsessed with EA for some
I just
reason.
I I just think that I think he's going to do a great job, because he worked with Sony, and probably worked with other third parties while he was at Sony. So he already has a built-in relationship. You're just now doing it for Nintendo. So those companies who still doubted Nintendo, maybe he could break that doubt. And at this time, the only company that's still doubting Nintendo is EA. Everybody else is making money off of them.
Sure. Well, we're gonna move on to the next story. I'm excited. Congratulations, Gio. We're excited to see you on Team Nintendo.
Yes.
Discord is in the news because it is nuking a Nintendo Switch emulators Discord servers, which is probably some sort of I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news lately, but one Nintendo Switch emulator got sued, and now
Yeah.
I'm sure Discord wants to avoid supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yeah.
be honest here. They're yeah, Yuzu is no more, and Discord probably wants to avoid all of that. So good for Discord. I think that's probably a smart move. I don't, I mean, we've had a lot of emulation talks across all of our shows over the last 5 or 10 years, and some of us have varying opinions on emulation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ed and I have the same opinion. But Roger, where do you stand on emulation in terms of this?
I mean, I'll say I think Discord is making the right choice. I mean, they don't want to be involved with that, and uh, I yeah. I mean, you might say, well, that's not fair to our communities. Well, I tell you, Discord does not want to be involved with that. So that makes sense. Yeah, I will say this about emulation. Like any games that are out right now, I think is like I am not obviously in favor of emulating. I think that's stealing money from people. I am I will say for older games, sometimes the only way you can play them is through emulation. I'm not saying that that's the right way. I'm just saying that sometimes that is the case, right? I'm not saying that
Mm-hmm.
that is the I'm just saying, but also from a preservation standpoint, like some of those companies don't even exist anymore, and the code doesn't even exist anymore, and they're certainly not going to get any money for the game because they don't exist anymore. Um, I do have problems with people that, and I've seen this, create emulation machines into arcade machines and then make you plug quarters in for those. That I have a huge problem with. Um, but yeah, Nintendo taking down studios or companies that are doing this emulation. I mean, yeah, Discord doesn't want anything to do with that. So makes sense. This is their platform. They should be able to do what they want with their platform, and taking down that taking down those communities makes sense to me.
I concur. I think so. My stance on emulation is like, there emulation to an extent is important for game preservation and that kind of thing, but also like Switch is the current platform, right? And like even Wii U to an extent is like, okay, well, that's a bit too far, like for me, like that's where you draw the line of like Nintendo is clearly still putting software out on this. There's still a easy, viable way to get these things because you don't.
Yeah,
My thing is like you're not entitled to have everything on a platform, right? And if you can't afford it, you don't get to play it, right? That's the gist of the game, right? Yes, games are expensive. It's an expensive hobby for most of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to pick and choose. You can't play everything. It is literally and financially unfeasible to play everything that comes out. Especially, I mean, you see the trash that comes out on Switch every week, right? Like that's like I don't know how many hentai puzzle games can you play in 1 week? You know what I mean?
that's true. That is true.
There's one that's on the eShop like for the new release.
No,
Hentai
one.
game.
There's probably seven. Uh, um, and so like I don't know. I think we all know which franchises and which games we are looking forward to, and the other ones will either wait for a sale or we will wait till somebody recommends it to us, or we'll play it at a friend's house or what. I don't know how games work these days with friends. I don't have any. But if you like, if it's something you're moderately interested in, buy it, and if you can't
Yeah,
afford it, then you gotta wait. You just have to
yeah,
wait.
yeah. No, I agree with that. I have a real big problem with like emulating like the game that's like current games, right? Like
Mhm.
that is total piracy.
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
agree.
Yeah, and I don't care if you can like play it on, your high tech piece of hardware at 4K 60 frames a second with ray tracing. That's not, like it's. I understand that people want to play their games that way, but like Nintendo doesn't have the hardware to support it, and like that, but that doesn't give you the right to go in and like steal it and modify it, right? I mean, like,
Yep.
okay, cool. Maybe Nintendo's next console will be able to do some of that, and you're gonna have to prepare to pay $70 instead of 60. You know, we already pay
Yeah.
$70 to $120 for our games anyway. You know, I mean, Destiny,
Yep.
the final shape of Destiny and the episodes afterwards are $100, right? I mean, that's just standard now. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
people, you all hurt my feelings. It's okay. I get it. I understand. Stop screwing around. Buy your games. Support developers.
100%.
And like, I get that Nintendo makes a lot of money anyway, right? Because they're Nintendo. But what about what about the indie games that you're pirating, or like those devs are losing that money and may not, that. Not that you should run a business this way, but that one sale or that 1,000 sales or whatever, it could determine whether a studio stays open or not, too.
Right.
So
Yep. I agree. And I will say this too. I mean, even for some of the older games, and I know this is the next item that you have on your news things, but I mean, Nintendo, whether you like it or not, like how they have it set up, like they do have their virtual consoles, which I appreciate. And there are a lot of games on there that you can play older games now, right? They give you options to play older games.
mm-hmm,
And that's one thing I liked. I've always liked since the Wii about
mm-hmm.
Nintendo, and I think that's awesome. I will say it kind of sucks though if like you it doesn't go transfer from system to system. So like my Majora's Mask that I got on the Wii did not carry over to any of my other systems, but that's okay. I guess I still have my Wii, so that's fine.
Yeah, well, Nintendo didn't figure it out, so
Well,
you
yeah.
could argue
Hopefully,
hopefully they finally have it figured out.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what to say. Hopefully they have that figured out, but yeah.
I also hate the people that complain about spending $50 a year on this service too. They
I
could
know.
all just go, I don't know.
So cheap.
I already written an article about it.
I think $50 a year is extremely cheap, especially considering like Game Pass keeps going up and PlayStation Plus keeps going up, and like you don't even get the classic games with PlayStation Plus unless you pay like the $240 version of the
Yeah.
thing per year, and it's like, well,
I would say out of all of their services, placed at all of three of those, PlayStation is the worst structure system.
yeah. I actually think I like, for the games that I like to play, not to get off on a tangent here, but like the PlayStation Extra tier is probably like the best bang for your buck, bang for my buck in any of these things. Well, between PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, and I love Game Pass, and I am a champion for Game Pass, but I think PlayStation Extra is better.
Yeah, but it's more expensive, isn't it? Like,
it's so every 3 months it's $45.
okay.
So it's actually cheaper than Game Pass by like,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
$3 or $4.
Oh, Game Pass it's still
It's
not. It's not.
17 times 3, Ed, is 50 something.
Oh, they went
So
up to
Yeah.
$2
it's
for a Game Pass.
$16.99 now a month.
Yeah.
Okay, because I
For
was about
Game
to say
Pass.
if it was still 15 for Game Pass Ultimate, I'm
I
like it
mean,
would have
it's
been
the
like
same
the same
price.
price.
Yeah, but Game Pass Ultimate went up.
We're not okay.
So, anyways, speaking of online services, everybody, Nintendo is expanding their Nintendo Switch Online Super Nintendo library with 3 more titles, including 2 Japanese exclusive titles. One of which is Wrecking Crew 98. What a cool
Which
name for
I've
game.
never known that game. I've never heard it on Super Nintendo.
That's because it came out 2 years after the Nintendo 64 did, and nobody cared. That's probably why it didn't come over here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's cool though. That's cool. That's the other thing, right? That they're bringing in games that we didn't get to see before. That's really neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that. aspect too. Like it kind of reminds me of like on the Wii when they first brought over Sin and Punishment for the first time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Sin and Punishment,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
cool Panzer Dragoon battler that never came here.
That was
Yeah.
kind of my one point about writing about the Nintendo like NSO being at the price that they have. I'm like, outside of the 6 systems that you got, you was going to get Japanese games that just was never released here. And there's no other service who's releasing games from another country that just never came and everything. So I'm just like a one payment for all of these games that you're getting, and then they're adding more consoles to it if you already at that tier uh, and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah. I've often argued that parents that are looking for a system to buy, right? Like I feel like the Switch is really suited well, especially if like you're getting it for a gift, birthday, Christmas, something like that. Because of the fact that you can just get them the Switch and then buy the, the NSO, the higher tier. Well, even if you don't buy the higher tier, it's fine too. But if you buy the higher tier, look at all the games. Look at all that library of games that you get to play. Like that's awesome. Like that's such a great value for parents, I think.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let them kids play all the hard games and go through the
That's
suffering
right.
that we had to suffer go
That's
through.
right.
Y'all want to play y'all Fortnites? Well, we got a Fortnite for you.
Jeez.
That's right.
Oh man. Anyways, Super R-Type. Man, R-Type, what a great game.
Yeah.
I remember playing
The
that.
other game
I
I never
don't.
heard of though. I never heard that third game.
Yeah, I never heard of it either.
It's developed by Sunsoft though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that one was just a Japanese only one. Sunsoft never brought it over here.
man, I'm watching the Super R-Type gameplay. It's so slow. I don't remember it
Yeah,
being this slow.
yeah. The frame rate was a big problem because the Super Nintendo couldn't handle it at
Well,
that
I'm
time.
not
They
talking
couldn't
about the
code it
frame rate.
right.
I'm just talking about the game in general.
No, if the thing is slowing down and everything, it's because of it of the frame rate. That's how it originally was on the Super Nintendo.
Hmm.
So that's how people were just like, you know how you had those controllers that will pause and unpause rapidly and
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
The
Well,
turbo
it was
controllers.
the turbo controllers. Yeah, it that's kind of how what that Super R Type was. So people were able to beat the game because the slowdown that was happening
Yeah.
so much in the game. So they're just like, oh, there's a bullet coming my way. I could just move out, and
Pew
people were
pew.
they were able to beat the game because they was taking advantage of all the problems that that game had.
Oh, good times. Video games, everybody. Some of them are good and some of them are
The
better.
90s.
90s. Oh man. All right. Let's whoops, I did not mean to do that. What did I just do? I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna hit this other side real quick. Although Roger, I don't know what your time is. I thought we would be done by now. I don't want to
No,
like
that's fine. You don't worry about it. I'm
okay.
fine. I'm good.
Great. Okay. Wonderful. Then we're gonna go for another 3 hours.
Okay, here we
All right.
go. Let me
Strap
grab
in,
some
everybody.
coffee. Let's go.
Mm, strap in, everybody. I got another Red Bull here. We could go.
Wow.
So the other side is when we talk about one of the other consoles, if they're doing something interesting or cool or something else. So this came from Windows Central. Yes, another Xbox story, everybody. Shocker. Ed and I like to talk about Xbox sometimes. Xbox President Sarah Bond has set up a new team dedicated to game preservation and forwards compatibility. Uh, the backward compatibility program will continue to feature Xbox hardware, which is great. Basically, the bullet points at the top of the article. I really like Windows Central because if you need to know the points, they put the bullet points at the top. So emails received by Windows Central's confirmed by Microsoft as genuine. Xbox President Sarah Bond recently briefed her team on various topics. In the email, Sarah Bond reiterated that Microsoft's plans to build a new Xbox hardware focused on delivering the biggest technical leap ever in a generation. Cool, great.
Don't believe that.
I do. Um, You think the hardware's going to be worse than the Xbox Series X?
It's not going to be no improvement.
Sure it is. Then why would you put one out?
When?
Why would you put one out?
Why they
Anyways, I'm
put the
moving.
Series
I don't
X?
have time. I don't have time for this. We're moving on. Sarabon also revealed that Microsoft has set up a dedicated team to future-proof our digital games libraries across future hardware paradigms to further, quote, build on Xbox's strong history of delivering backwards compatibility.
Whoa, wait. Strong history? No, you read it right.
No,
I don't know if I agree with that statement.
I would say Xbox does it the best out of anybody. Backwards compatibility.
Hold on. I agree with you that they do it now. The problem is, I don't know if they've always thought that way, right?
No. I mean, they had to figure out a way to get that on because the Xbox One couldn't do it at a hardware level. They had to figure out how to do it at a software level. But that was also the change of management and building this backwards compatible team.
And then Nintendo just Nintendo raised their hands to be like, we did it for Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, can you play those games on a Switch? No, get out of here. Well, some
at
of
the
them,
time, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I like to. I would actually argue Xbox is Microsoft is the company that least needs it and is the best at it.
Yeah,
I would say. Because obviously Nintendo is the one I would say they're doing better at it. We got to get that GameCube generation and maybe the DS and 3DS generations catching up, but PlayStation is the worst at it in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Man, PlayStation 3, those PlayStation 3 games, man. If they could figure that out, which they have, right? It's just every game has to launch with its own custom emulator. I don't know if there's a
yes.
Yeah, that's man. And then additionally, it was revealed that Xbox has become Diablo 4's most prominent platform since the game's inclusion on Game Pass. Okay, great. Whatever. Diablo 4, everybody likes it. Congratulations. But going back to the game preservation thing, I know obviously I think we're going to get more games backwards compatible because obviously generations are just going to keep coming out regardless, but also like Activision Blizzard has a ton of games that can now be backwards compatible because Microsoft has the money to go, or has the money and the will to go out and get those licenses back. Like all the Marvel games, the Transformers games, I mean, Hasbro even said they would, oh yeah, Microsoft can totally give us money for those Transformers games. Man, if we get Fall of Cybertron and War of Cybertron back, oh my gosh, that's all I need. That kind of stuff.
I think that's my worry, that if they're gonna do it, it's just gonna be from the 360 era and up.
It's fine with
anything
me.
from the regular Xbox, not so much.
Well, I mean, they could bring X-Men Legends. That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
I'd totally play X-Men Legends and
Sure, probably just
Rise of the Imperfects.
They'll just probably resell that, like remake it and resell it. Not remake it, remaster it and sell it.
I mean, I would take that too. I don't care. Anything X-Men, I'll play. Unless it's a deck builder puzzle roguelike.
Roguelike.
But also, I mean, there's other games too, like Obsidian games. Like the Alpha Protocol popped up on GOG for on a digital storefront for the first time in 5 years because somebody is doing the work to make that work, and that has me excited because Alpha Protocol was awesome, and
no one brought it.
I did. I have 2 copies of it. I have one for PS3 and Xbox. Mostly because I was going to play it, and then Final Fantasy 13 bricked my PS3, and so I bought it on 360.
Well, you have some collector's items. I'm going to give that. Oh,
man. Dude, Alpha Protocol. If James Bond Mass Effect, come on. It's awesome. Give it to me. Give it to me all day. But I mean, how do you guys, I mean, what do you expect from these quote unquote emails of backwards compatibility and forwards compatibility?
Well,
I mean, this is stuff we already kind of knew.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just think, I just think for the 360 era and up, yes, I could see that. I don't see it so much from Xbox One because, like, of course, it's a lot of pick and choose. Um,
You mean like the
that,
original Xbox?
Yeah, the original
yeah,
Xbox,
the
not
original
Xbox One.
Xbox,
Yeah.
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 It's a lot of the pick and choose on
Names.
what they can do. Um, so I think that's going to continue to be the same thing. Because don't forget, Xbox didn't care about backwards compatibility at all. And until Xbox One came and people were asking for it, and then they seen how successful it was. Um, that's why I think they
Well,
now care
PlayStation didn't
for it.
either. They actively took it out of the PlayStation 3.
Oh yeah,
There's only
yeah.
specific
I,
models
I,
that you can have
I,
backwards
I,
compatibility.
I, I'm and I'm not getting PlayStation. Like, I'm not getting Xbox or anything, but I'm like, people were been asking for this because of how Nintendo were doing backwards compatibility. And then people got to realize that when Nintendo did it, it was physical versions. It wasn't online gaming. It wasn't CD based stuff like that. It was mostly if you got the physical version of that game, you could put it into this new system and use it and play. That was that version of backwards compatibility. Now that it's more digital for backwards compatibility, it's going to be easier for companies, hopefully, to be able to get it up. That's why when you see Xbox, um, like store page, and they got 360 games that you could buy and everything, that's like kind of backwards compatibility stuff. But ours is on a digital front and everything. So I think I think this is a great thing for Microsoft. Um, I just think that for most of it, it's going to be 360 and up and everything. And if they do go back to the first Xbox, it's gonna still, I think, pick and choose. They're not gonna have the full library there. Um,
Well, they
Xbox. Oh,
it's gonna be to me this says it's gonna be licensed games and 360 games, right? I mean,
hmm
the Xbox One is and the Series X and everything from the they've already confirmed that everything from the Xbox One generation will move forward, right? Like everything
yeah,
from the Xbox One generation on will move forward in perpetuity, right? That's like
Mhm.
that was their whole thing with the Series X was like it has to be the same. And so um to me this just says, "Hey, we're going to try to get some licenses that Activision had and now we can utilize we're going to find some 360 games that they had." Like I mean, to me this is like obviously Sony has a grasp on the Marvel stuff and the X-Men stuff and the Spider-Man stuff right now. And this might be a way to not directly combat that, but like if you can
Mhm.
say, hey, we have Ultimate Alliance, we have, this, and this that you guys remember. And you can play it here via backwards compatibility if you already own it somewhere, right? Whether it's a disc
Yeah.
or not. Like that's a way to combat that because that's one place Xbox is exceeding PlayStation by a mile, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just
And
my take.
pretty
Yeah.
much people are probably, because this would be my thing, and this is gonna, I know, be wacky. So just hear me out. I think people probably will find a list of what will be backwards compatible, and then start hitting garage sales. Like if people are selling physical discs of games for like $2 or $3 that their kid don't play anymore, like you could get it cheaper than just going out and rebuying those games and stuff. So like even though it might be backwards compatibility, if I could get that Ultimate Alliance game for $3 instead of paying $29.99 from the store, I'm gonna go out and get it. But you got to hear different garage sales because shoot, there's a people who at garage sales do sell video games and just don't know the value of it. All they care about is making a little coin off of it and getting it out their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I read this is backwards compatible. I'm not actually thinking they're talking about physical media. I think they're talking about the digital media. And I think this is a pointing to also the fact that I think that at the first console, I think that's going to do away with physical media is probably going to be Xbox. I think they're going to be the first systems. They're going to be like, this is all digital, right? And there's I mean, there's good and bad things about that, right? Because like people say, like, well, if I don't own it, then do I really own it? Well, yeah, there's discussion. You can have discussions about that. But I think the other thing that does excite me about that is the fact that if you, and this is what I think Xbox is going to, and I think this is this is where they do better than the other systems, is that if you have an account like a Microsoft account, like it should carry all the things you own to another system, and I think
Mhm.
that's what we're going to start seeing, right? Um, and
Because
I don't think it's going to
to,
be
to
the
make sure
physical media.
to make everybody notice because of the cloud stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
correct.
you buy it digitally, or you still got some cloud information or data saved,
Yeah,
even though
yeah,
you don't got the game installed, it'll carry over.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be cool if it played physical media. I don't think that's what they're talking about here, though. I think that they're saying, well, I mean, they do that already right now. You can go out onto the, I mean, it's at least it's on Game Pass. Maybe you can buy it as well, but you can go out and play Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, which was an OG Xbox game, and you can play that
mhm.
right now on Xbox Series X or S
Yeah,
through
if
the digital store.
yeah, so
Yeah,
if it's available on sale and everything on their store, if you got the physical, you could just pop it in and install it and play it and everything.
Yeah,
So it's just
some
like
of the backwards
whatever.
compatibility is some of the backwards
yeah,
compatibility is only physical. Like Batman Arkham Origins is backwards compatible, but you have to have the disc, which is why that 360 disc is worth so much.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
it'll be
played the
interesting to
original
see
first.
if they continue that though, like the physical media piece of it, right? I don't know. I'd be cool if they did. I don't know if they will though.
If I think because of the word of, if they take a game down and they take it off, offline and stuff, and you just can't play it anymore. If games are gonna be like that, or digitally, they're gonna be losing money because people are gonna be like, why would I even buy a game or even go to Game Pass if all you're gonna do is just take it off? So I'm just giving you free money, and I'm not being rewarded with the product that I pay for, because you still got the yeah, I'm paying to have the right to play your license. You could take it off and not refund my money or anything if you want to. So people,
Yeah,
that's the fear of it and everything.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's why people are
I
just
don't
like, I need that physical version.
yeah.
I don't
No,
know if you
I
guys saw the
agree.
oh,
Oh,
sorry, I
go
didn't mean
ahead,
to
Corey.
interrupt you. I
No, no, go
don't
ahead,
know
go
if you
ahead.
guys saw the story going on right now with Ubisoft, but people like the
Yeah,
crew is disappearing from
yeah.
people's
It's
digital
gone.
libraries.
Yeah,
Which game?
the
The
crew.
crew.
Oh, the crew. Yeah.
No,
And like
that I do have a
people are
problem
mad.
with, right? That if you bought the game and then it's gone, like that actually happened to me. I bought one of the X-Men versus Capcom games,
Ooh.
and Sony no longer had the right to it, and it was gone off the store. I took it, I removed it from my library too, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, really?
I think they did. Yeah, I think they did offer me a credit for it, but still, it's like I'd rather have the game than the credit. But uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that I have a problem with. You buy the game, but on the flip side, I will say like Game Pass games, I know I don't own, right? I know
Mhm.
I don't own any of Netflix movies. Like if they remove those, they're gone. That's okay with me, right? And
Unless Netflix is
Ubisoft,
selling it.
yeah, exactly. But I do have the Ubisoft Plus subscription, and I just don't buy any of Ubisoft games. I just for $17 a month, I can play any of the games I want. I'm like, cool, that's cool. Like
And
that's fine with me.
I think that's why when it comes to, we were talking about emulation and stuff. That's why when it comes to Nintendo, we tell people, buy the game. If you could get it physically, if you could order it physically and get that game, get it. Because the thing about it is that once that game gets taken off of stores, you're going to pay triple the price once you have that feel that you need to buy it and
Yeah,
everything. Because
yeah,
once a Nintendo game comes off market, it's a collector's item. And when be like, oh, I want to play Mega Man Legends from the N64. Well, get ready to pay a Mega Man's Legends of 384 plus some dollars, just estimated.
Yeah.
Because it's just like if you don't get it at that time, and I can understand people not being able to get games when they release, if because they weren't around in that time period. But if you know that, definitely with Nintendo, if you do not get that game physically, it is going to be insane in the future. And people don't
Yeah.
think that same way with Microsoft and Sony. They just think that because you're really paying for the install of that game because it's on the disc and stuff. That's the only reason why to get it. If you and everything. That's the only reason why they would get that. Other than that, if no one didn't have to worry about their game taken off the server, everybody would have already went digital. Problem is, Microsoft and Sony would have to upgrade the digital. I mean, not the digital. We have to upgrade the space because the 1 terabyte is not doing anything
Yeah.
of your games nowadays is hitting almost 80 gigabytes, and plus with DLC stuff, your 1 terabyte is doing nothing. I can have 40 games, but in reality of these first party and triple A games that's gonna be backwards compatible, gonna be big. I'm only gonna probably be able to have 5 or 6 games. And then I gotta take all of that off so I can put new games up. And before anybody say, well, that's why Game Pass is there, I'm talking about people who actually go and buy those games because of the backwards compatibility.
Mm. Yeah. I would say Nintendo's probably the last company that would go full digital. I don't know if they ever will, actually, to tell you the truth.
No, Nintendo's making too much money. They already
Yeah.
region free with their system. So companies be like, oh, if you want this game, you go order it from Play Asia and play the Japanese version. And people will go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nintendo will always be the company that sticks around with physical stuff just because it's Nintendo and there's a legacy there. And I mean, Nintendo just plays by the beat of their own drum, right? And so even if their third party support goes all digital, like Nintendo's going to stick around with carts, right? That's just, I don't know. It just makes sense,
agreed.
I think, for them. People love their physical Nintendo games. Like I'm like 1,000% all digital right now, except for Nintendo, right? Like I have a lot of physical Nintendo games, although I still do have most of my games are digital on Switch, but I also have the physical games that I want because I like having the Nintendo games, right? So that's
And with the micro SD cards being so simple, people are always looking for a good deal to get it put in their Switch, and they know that those cartridges will hold a lot of data, which allows them to hold a lot of games. So
yeah, so yeah, backwards compatibility, everybody. Hopefully, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible.
I would say good job, Microsoft, for having that. Like, good job for them for having that.
Yeah, I just wish a company with games that people cared about would do it. Not that I don't care about Xbox, but you know what I mean. I just think I think a lot of their older stuff is going to get remastered anyway, just so they can get those games on PC, right? Like, I totally expect a Fable collection. I totally expect a Gears collection this year, right? Especially with the Gear 6 rumors flying around, because if they want to unify obviously their platform, right? And this is a conversation we have a different day, but if they want to unify their platform across PC, Xbox, cloud, TV apps, whatever, they gotta get that 360 library onto platforms that people have, right? And whatever, if you have a Xbox set top box or whatever in the future, you'll be able to play your 360 games, but those games are not available on your PC library, right? So all right, time for Pack Watch. Speaking of Xbox, two previously Xbox exclusives are coming to the Switch this week. On 4/16, we're getting Grounded. The world is vast, beautiful, and dangerous place, especially when you have been shrunken to the size of an ant. Explore, build, and survive together in this cooperative survival adventure. Can you thrive alongside the hordes of giant insects fighting to survive the perils of the backyard? That's an Obsidian game coming to Switch now. Another previously Xbox only game, Planet of Lana, which is a great kind of, I guess, Limbo would be a game that I would kind of compare it to, although it's way more colorful and inviting, I guess you would say. The player assumes the control of Lana, a young girl, as she explores a planet which has been invaded by hostile alien machines in order to rescue her sister, who has been abducted. Throughout her adventure, she is accompanied by a cat-like creature named Mui. And then also on 416, the Rose and Camellia collection, done by our friends at Way Forward. Slap your way to the top of high society. Grace and glamour will give way to open hand duels across 5 games of aristocratic absurdity. Rose and Camilla 1, 2, 3, and 4, plus Rose and Camilla versus La Mulana, in which you'll slap, dodge, feint, and counter your way through a series of one-on-one smackdowns. And then on 417, Reigns Beyond, which was previously an Apple Arcade exclusive, is coming to Switch. As an intergalactic indie rock band, plot your rise to stardom, traveling from planet to planet and gig to gig on your quest for fame and fortune. Play local and not so local clubs throughout the galaxy, recruiting alien band members along the way, and rock out across the cosmos. So those are the games coming. Those are the heavy hitters coming to Switch this week. So it's the calm before the storm, everybody, I think. Library fillers, smaller games, indie games. Pick them up. Support your indie devs. All right,
You know
everybody.
what game you wouldn't like, Corey? You know what game you wouldn't like? La Mulana.
What?
You would not like that game. You would not like
What,
La
Planet?
Mulana.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It's a roguelike game.
Oh, I mean, I know it's part of this collection, but
Yeah.
Pass. Help. Hey,
yeah, you wouldn't like that game.
Yeah, I'm trying to not, play those games. So, all right, it's time for question block. I guess. I guess we should probably do this, right? Answer these questions. Remember, you can email the show at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. Join our Discord or look for the Twitter thread and leave questions. Or you can also leave comments on the previous episode on YouTube. We could probably start doing that too. Sam Hall writes in, do you think the Switch 2, or whatever they call it, can compete with the Steam Deck, the Xbox Portable, or Sony's next handheld? Do you think we'll see another Wii U situation? Thanks for everything you do. My short answer is yes, the Switch 2 will compete because it has something the others do not, which is Nintendo games. The Wii U, I'm a Wii U defender, but I don't think we will see another Wii U situation, mostly because I think what I've said before on the show is that Nintendo's leadership now is way more conservative than obviously Iwata and Reggie and that whole regime, right? Like they're going to stick with what works, and obviously the Switch works. It needs to be more powerful. It needs to have internal memory. And so what I think it'll be is they'll have some sort of more powerful handheld with an onboard SSD of small capacity, and then you can expand with probably memory cards or whatever. But yes, it will compete because it's Nintendo, and this is what people want. This is what people have wanted from Nintendo for a long time, clearly. And they'll continue that. Also, like, as long as the next console is backwards compatible with the current Switch and everything moving forward, like it's gonna survive. It's gonna be fine. So
I'll let you go, Roger, before I say my thoughts.
Sure. No, yeah, I agree. It's going to compete with the Steam Deck. I mean, the Switch does, and the Steam Deck already, I think it's more powerful probably than the Switch, but it competes. And like you said, Corey, because of Nintendo games, that's why. I will say this: the one thing that I would be worried about with whatever they do with this new Switch, I hope they don't do the same thing they did with the new 3DS, because that was really confusing for a lot of people.
What, call
Oh,
it the
this is a
new
new
Switch?
yeah, yeah, right. Well, because like they came up with Xenoblade Chronicles on the new 3DS. It could only be played
Mhm.
on the new 3DS. And the only thing that distinguished it was just the fact that it said for the new 3DS. Well, people are like, "Well, can it play on my old 3DS?"
Mhm.
No. you know. Uh so I just hope they don't make it confusing for consumers. Uh
Mhm.
especially like I don't know. There's with the Wii U and the new 3DS. I think those were like they just weren't they when you I feel like as a parent, I think I can say this. I feel like when you do that, it's confusing for consumers to know, especially like those parents that may not game and they're like, "Well,
Mhm.
is this going to be compatible with my current Switch?"
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I would say I hope they don't do.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is you gotta if you want to call it this, keep the Switch name, which I think they probably want to do in some capacity. You can't just you have to say two. You have to give it a
Yeah.
number or something that
Or
indicates that
Super.
it's different. Yeah. And like I was telling Ed this on like I think we were talking about it on an expansion pass or something, but like there's gonna be that there's going to be that subsection of games the first year or two, right? Until people start really moving over because the hardcore will buy it, within the first 6 months, right? The hardcore will buy it, then their friends will buy it, and then you'll start getting the casual people in like in year 2, 3, 4, whatever. There's going to be that crossover. Remember when the Game Boy Color came out and there were games
Mm,
that you could only play on the Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
and then there were
yeah,
some games on the black cartridges that you could play on both?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's where I see this going, where like
Mm.
there's going to be that, okay, well, this is I think maybe this games that will be playable on Switch will remain in the red boxes, right?
Mm.
But I think the next console will have a different, almost like a different box shape, maybe even like a square box, like the 3DS almost instead, right? And you
Yeah.
have to make it easy to communicate this is a different game type of game for a different type of system, right?
Yes.
You have
Yes.
to. And and even if the label on the box is different, right? I mean, that's what I mean, you look at the PlayStation boxes, right? PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 boxes are almost indistinguishable except for the fact that PlayStation 4 has a blue label that says PS4 and the PlayStation
Yeah.
5 has a white label that says PS5, right? Other
Yeah.
than that,
Yeah.
those
I
boxes are
just have
indistinguishable.
so much of a problem with that. I just
Of
do,
course you do.
yeah.
Ed has a lot of problems with a lot of things, everybody. Shocker. For those of you new to the show, welcome to episode 387.
I mean,
Ed has problems
it's
with things not called Nintendo.
no, it's just it literally just feel like sometimes people are. I won't say it. I'll just let that be.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Stick to the topic.
Well, for me, I don't think Nintendo's going. It's not going to compete with them. I think Nintendo's going to be above them because once again, Nintendo likes to be innovative. Um, People are going to be probably still double dipping because collector's edition physical, and you don't get that with the other companies. You're getting
Mm.
PC versions just down, not downgraded, just being put on to a different system, regardless of performance, graphics, all of that nonsense and everything. Nintendo's gonna be doing something that those other the I won't say competitors, the other platforms can't do. And the thing about it is that once Nintendo do something, those platforms are going to get into copying mode. So they're going to try to copy what Nintendo has already done and made it better. The Steam Deck
Yeah.
and Rogue Ally and all of that stuff. Like, yeah, they're powerful systems, but like you modified their system to be better, and I don't think you need to go. You're not going to have to do that with Nintendo consoles. Indie games, Any developers, they're going to be looking forward to getting that. I mean, yes, they're going to look. Any developers, I'm sorry, everybody, I sound confusing. Any developers are going to be looking for that wish list on Steam, but they're probably going to be looking for that sale and that double dip sale on Nintendo's console.
Yeah.
Why? Because they've seen how it has kept their businesses open so that more games could come out. They have seen people probably in social media talk about that game. Their names coming up in podcasts, regardless of it's been a good discussion or a bad discussion. Their name being connected to Nintendo has been good for these indie games. You do not see that with any other the other platforms. Yeah, I see when I see PlayStation games, they're connected to Steam Deck than PlayStation 5.
Hmm.
And those games are not even on PC at all. So how is that happening? And which, like I said, people are modding stuff and everything. So I think Nintendo is not even worried about. It's not going to compete. Definitely when it's coming from Japan, they're focusing on Japan, but now they're going to get to a point where they're going to be focusing worldwide. And I don't think Steam and Rogue Ally and all of those other companies aren't thinking about that. When we hear Steam and stuff, we're only thinking about America. They're not thinking worldwide. With Nintendo, they're thinking of Japan, but they still are thinking of worldwide. Like just look at when games come out every not Family News, but um Famitsu, when they're releasing um the sales list and stuff. You know, do you see Steam Deck? Do you see Rogue Ally? Do you see anything else? Just like recently, their top 10, none of the games have been on Nintendo Switch. And if that continues, and even when NPD, that's now something else, that still had a whole bunch of Nintendo games on it. Yeah, and probably in the UK also had a bunch of Nintendo games on it. If games and stuff for their next console continues to do that on their ranking list and everything about sales, who are they competing with? They're not competing with Steam or Rock Ally, because then those games should be reported. Even if they report digital sales, those names should be in those lists. And if they're not, who's Nintendo competing with their next console?
Yeah, I also, to your some of your points, not all of them, but some of them. The Steam Deck and the ROG Ally and whatever Xbox and PlayStation put out next are companion pieces to their main hardware, right? And
Yeah.
the Switch,
Mhm.
whatever the Nintendo's next console is going to be their hardware, right? So, um, I think that's another thing that they have a leg up on too. Is like, I think it's clearly going to be cheaper, right? Because it's going to be their only piece of hardware. Um, and you're just not going to need a separate piece of, like, then Xbox handheld is going to be a companion piece to whatever the next Xbox is, right? It's not
Mhm.
like you're going to be able to take your library with you, sure, but like if you want to take it with you, like you have to buy a separate piece of hardware, right? And
Mhm.
um I mean, unless I guess the next Xbox you can just maybe have a handheld mode. Maybe that's their Series S next gen is the handheld instead of that, right? But like I don't know. I feel like obviously the Steam Deck is the companion piece, and the ROG Ally is just whatever sort of experimental thing they're trying to do, right? So um, that's, I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion of that. Um, so
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
And even if it was a even if it was a Wii U situation, people are still going to be talking about the software, because guess what's happening with the Wii U? People are still wanting and talking about that software from a system that didn't sell well.
Yeah.
So if that happens, that's more money for Nintendo if they give in. So once again, competing with who? Mario Kart 8 is at 60 plus some a million from a game that's probably what the highest selling game on Wii U.
Yeah, at like 8 or 9 million, right? So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't forget,
yeah.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 had the biggest names, and still people saw talking about games on Wii U.
You were.
I'm just saying.
Anyways, our next question comes from the One True James via Discord. You've been given a team with $100 million budget to invent the next console-selling Nintendo gimmick. What is it? The wilder it is, within reason, the better. I have a very disappointing answer for this, and I'll let you guys battle this out. I hate when Nintendo does gimmicks. I hated the Wii like with a passion because of the motion stuff, and like
Yeah.
the Wii U was like, yeah, you gave me a controller with buttons and a joysticks, so I'll just play this. But I think honestly, the coolest thing would be the next Nintendo console to have a clamshell design with 2 screens. I think that would be awesome. I
That's
think
what
that
I
would
was
be
gonna say too.
awesome. So we can do some DS and 3DS ports. Give them to
Mm-hmm.
me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyways,
You don't think the Switch is gimmicky with switching out the different
I
switching
yeah,
it
but it's a
into the
gimmick.
thing?
It's not. It's not really a gimmick, though, in my opinion. It's a. I mean, I guess technically it is a gimmick, but it's not like it's a. It's a gimmick that is not wildly different than what they've already been doing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
a home console you can take with you, right? Instead of like, oh, the Wii U plugs into your TV, but you can take your 3DS with you. They've already been doing that. They just put it into one thing instead of like, oh, the Wii, we're gonna have a balance board that you can exercise and do luge
Yeah.
master or whatever that game was
Yeah.
called,
Yeah.
or waggle. Like, I mean, and still like 1-2 switch is like, yeah, that's the worst thing they've ever put out, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's true.
Although my nephews love it, so their
Somebody
two
does
favorite
because they
Switch, the
made two
two
of them.
favorite Switch games are 1-2 switch and Arms. Are their two favorite Switch games?
Oh, Arms! I totally forgot about that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most people did. Uh,
Yeah.
Although Arms is cool though. I mean, I like it. It's neat sometimes. There wasn't enough to it. I think whatever a sequel to
Yeah.
Arms is going to be much more interesting because I think there's something
Mhm.
there, right? I think
Yeah. Yeah.
they have like some unique characters and they have some they have there's something there, right? And remember everybody was thirsty over the one with the
The
hair.
Black Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember that was like a big thing. So then we
Yeah.
got a Min Min amiibo.
Yeah. That's true.
That's how you can tell that game like didn't stick around. Is like the two main characters they put on the box didn't even make it in the Smash Brothers. They put like some
Yeah.
third or fourth tier character into the Smash, right? Like you
Yeah.
could have totally done Ribbon Girl and Springman in Smash as one character and have like the costume switch, like
Yep.
Minecraft Steve and Alex or
Yep.
Bayonetta or whatever.
Yep.
Pyra and Mithra. So that's my gimmick. I don't want one. I'll take that $100 million and make more video games.
Wow. So about what? 1 or 2 games?
I mean, small games, yeah,
Yeah.
that aren't Kirby related.
But I have one, but Roger, I'll let you go first if you have one.
I do. I have a couple of things that I would like to see on the Switch, and I'll just name them off real quick from the least I don't think that's going to happen, or it could happen, but it probably won't happen, it probably will never happen. So I would like to see the Miiverse on the Switch and the new whatever the successor is. That would be really cool. I would also like to see Street Pass on this whatever this new Switch is going to be, or the new system. I would like to see the other. Now we're getting to the ones that's probably never going to happen. I would also like to see achievements, some kind of achievement system on this new one. And then finally, the last one, I'll take your clam idea, and I'm gonna take it to the next level. It's not only gonna be just clam; it's gonna be like the new phones that are out where they can just fold and unfold, right? So it's just one big
No.
screen and they can fold.
No.
Yeah, no, wait, no, Corey, just wait, just wait. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. No, you said the wilder the better. This is what I'm gonna say. So the folds, but then they're gonna come out with the Donkey Kong version, and it's gonna be huge. And you unfold it, it's like having like a small TV that you could set up and play. Because like I don't like playing the Switch. Like I did laugh when the Switch was released. They're like, look at all these friends playing around this small little TV, and like, no, nobody does that. But if you had the Donkey Kong version, this big like clam thing, and it unfolds into like a TV, how cool would that be? And it makes this transformer sound. That would be amazing. It said the wilder the better.
Oh,
I
man.
actually would buy that if there was a Donkey Kong version. I would totally buy that. Obviously,
I thought you meant he would buy one if there was a Transformers version.
I would buy one if there was a Transformer version too. That is my crazy things I would do with $100 million budget to build a new system.
Okay.
Fair. All right, Ed. What is your diabolical idea?
Okay. So it's kind of connected to the eShop, and
You want to
just
make
like
the eShop better. You want to put
hold
$100
on,
million
hold
into the
on,
eShop to make it
listen,
look better.
hold on, listen, listen. So just how there is a red box, there's Nintendo game vending machines everywhere. And when you buy your next console, it comes with a certain credit card that if you take it to these vending machines, you can pop it in. You could also pop in, and I gotta say that that credit card is connected to your Nintendo account for that console. You cannot use it for any other console. If you transfer it to a different console, you get as crazy as it is, and I know that people would hate this as long as you have the NSO, it will transfer over. So once it leaves that console, you cannot go back and forth. If you want to go back and forth, that's an extra $5 that you have to pay. Charge them, Nintendo. I know you would charge them. I know you want to make money off of this transfer thing, but if folks want to keep playing around with it and thinking they can be sneaky, make some coin off of it. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, they'll give you this credit card, or they'll give you this card. You can put it in this vending machines, select the games that you want, and it will recognize that, okay, once I'm done with that, and everything, I got it on this card. You could go home, tap it on your Switch, tap it on your new console, just like how you do your Google Pay or your credit card when you touch the screen and it pays. The system recognizes it and starts downloading all of your games and everything, so that you don't have it, and it'll recognize once you buy all of those games, it'll add up all your coins and stuff. So now you don't have to be buying one game or trying to put everything in a cart. It'd be like, oh, you bought hentai, you bought platformers, you bought all whatever, and all this stuff. It's Nintendo. Trust me. You put it in, and it will unlock, and it'll keep a record of all your purchases and everything. So maybe for some people it'll be for some in a way that if the credit card is registered in your name and you got your date of birth and all of that stuff, it'll let you know, okay, I'm 15 years old, or 16 years old. I got a job. I'm making my own money. I want to buy all of these games and stuff. The card will recognize your age. So if you know that the only way that you can buy N-rated games without being carded is digitally, then you would have to go on the actual system and buy it. But if you're 21 and so sorry everybody for that typical snafu. It was on my
Doctor
part.
Ed had a technical snafu, leaving it all in.
So it would keep track of your purchases, and so once at these vending machines, you could buy all the games that you want, and it'll only register and everything for you to do. Now, people will probably try and make fake credit cards and things so they could just trick it, but because of that new Nintendo console can't recognize it and it's not attached to your NSO account or whatever, you can't add no games or anything. And if they do find and if it doesn't recognize it or any stuff, or it doesn't see that you pay anything, or it's a fake credit card, maybe with that $100, they'll get that $100 million. They'll get some technology to figure that out. They'll see that you're trying to do something illegal, and because you're trying to do something illegal so many times, they'll lock your NSO account and probably have all your information. And if they give it to the police or some mess like that happen, that would be something interesting to see. I don't know.
Who's
But
doing illegal stuff?
people were trying to do. I I'm just saying, if they're trying to steal games from the vending machine to put on their Switch and
I didn't know
everything,
Diddy was
the
buying
or
switches.
oh wow, that's a whole nother story. Wow,
Allegedly.
wow, wow.
Probably
Um,
got sued.
but that is my thing. Vending machine a vending machine shop with a particular card that you could use to buy games. Come home, tap it, and it's just start unlocking stuff and downloading. So, um, and everything.
Where are these vending machines? Where would they put them? I'm just curious.
Just
If you
like
were to put them,
Redbox, you could buy
just
them at
like in front of
like a
Walmart
Walgreens,
or
like inside of Walgreens or Walmart, Macy's, whatever, that you could buy games digitally, or whatever. It's just like a vending machine, like Redbox, you could do and stuff. And so
Isn't
that
that kind of what they're trying to do at Super Nintendo World though, with like the bracelets, right? Like kind of like what Disney does, where you attach your
I
credit card to the bracelet, and then it kind of like. By the way, they call those bracelets amiibo bracelets. So, in case you were
oh,
maybe
wondering,
do they really?
yeah,
maybe so, yeah. But they're like, if they could do something like that and it works, then yeah, that way that um hopefully it'll be easier to count uh sales for like eShop stuff, in case of people want to go all digitally and everything, or like their internet is slow, or it's not working. They'll at least have that information, and they can just tap their system and everything. That way you don't have to go through the rigmarole of all of these screens and stuff like that. And it'll just be connected to your micro SD card, where your system might already be doing that. Yeah, but it's connected to your NSO. Your points rank up and stuff, and you can also use those points if you want to buy the game. So the points will also be on the card. So when you put it in, you can use it almost like a credit card at that point. Um, if you want to buy games using your points and stuff, and it's all connected to it's all connected to that credit card and everything, as long as that credit card is connected to a bank, or have money on it and stuff, that it's not a fraud card or something.
cool. Look at that. Ed came up with some financial instability for children.
Wow.
Our last question, also from Sam Hall. He says, "What is your favorite Nintendo franchise that you've never completed a game in the series for?" Oh boy.
Do we have to admit this?
I mean, I'm about to. I mean, for me, it's Xenoblade. I
Oh
love
yeah.
Xenoblade. I've never finished one of those games because they're just so long. But I'm going to remedy that this year.
uh for me would be Fire Emblem. I haven't completed none of the Fire Emblem games.
Yeah, I was gonna say both of those actually for my answer too. I was gonna say either Xenoblade or Fire Emblem. So I'll pick a different one. I never beat a Star Fox game.
Mm.
I beat it in
Play,
one
the only one
Star
worth
Fox
playing is
4.
Star Fox 64. So I would start
Yeah.
and in there.
Okay.
Although that the Starlink one
Yeah,
pretty good.
I was gonna say the Ubisoft one was very good. That one actually I do want to beat because that is pretty fun. And in fact, I have it downstairs. I have the ship and everything, the R-wing
Ooh,
and the little Star Fox or Cloud.
nice.
So yeah, not
Look at
Cloud.
you.
What's his name? Is it Cloud?
Cloud?
I don't know.
Cloud?
Is it late? It's
Fox.
late. I don't remember.
Fox McCloud?
Fox McCloud. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And his dad's name is James McCloud. For some reason.
His great grandfather's name was I don't know.
But you'll hear or something.
Francis Scott McCloud. I don't know how any of this works now. Help. Oh man. Okay. Well, that's all the questions we got. That's it. That's all we got. So Ed, it's your turn now. I'm giving it back to you.
Okay. So we're gonna head out this episode. Roger, do you want to plug one more time?
Sure.
And where can people find you?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. This was a lot of fun.
You should come back.
I hope
anytime you want.
Okay, I was gonna say I hope that I'm welcome back. I'm not sure. Maybe I am.
I'm really just telling you that on the because we're live, but when we're done.
Yeah, after the show ends, you're gonna be like, you're never welcome back here. So how can people find me? You can find Gamerheads at our website at gamerheadspodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at gamerheadspod. You can go to our YouTube channel as well, where you can listen to all our episodes. All our episodes are on YouTube, so that's youtube.com/gamerheads. Or Gamerheads Podcast, actually, I should say. And then if you want to follow me personally on Twitter, you can follow me at Nintendo Raj as well.
Nintendo Raj.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't ask. I don't know I don't know why I have that name, but it is what it is. So
you said you're a Nintendo fan, so maybe that's
maybe.
That's all right. People still ask me why my name is Corey in HD, but it's fine.
Why not 4K?
You never know. Because my middle name is Hudson and my last name is Deering, and I thought it would be a fun way to play on words.
Yeah,
that's why.
That does make sense.
But nobody understands me.
I try to understand you and get shot down, so
nobody cares.
See, like I said, shot down. So
yep.
Well, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pod Blog. Thank you, Roger, for joining us on the show. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Wow. Bye. That was you all right there, Ed? If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Deering, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.